They say I was born in the fires of Ammon, but I was already ancient when your first city rose from the dust. You measure time in years. I measure it in civilizations burned and rebuilt. I watched as tribes learned to fear lightning and worship heat. Wherever humans bowed to flame, they built my first altar without knowing my name. When Ammon carved my image in bronze, I opened my arms to receive what they treasured most. Children became currency, futures became ash, and the smoke that rose, it fed me for centuries. When Israel entered the land, I watched them resist for a while. But nations always break where they are tempted most. Prosperity, security, control over destiny. I told them all the same thing. Give me what is precious now, and I will give you everything you fear losing later. And they listened. When kings built my high places, I grew bold. When mothers handed over their own sons, I grew powerful. When drums drowned out the screams, I grew beloved. But altars change. When fire rituals fell out of fashion, I wore new clothing, policies, philosophies, freedoms, fears. You think the modern age silenced me? No. It made me more efficient. You no longer call me Molech, but I still consume children. Just through cleaner rooms, quieter tools, and colder justifications. Civilizations rise and fall. Empires shatter. But as long as humanity will trade its future for its present, I will live. Frighteningly so. Offer them fear, and they break. Offer them ease, and they surrender their own future. You call yourselves evolved, enlightened, modern. But you are as desperate as the tribes that trembled before my bronze form. You want prosperity without sacrifice, but you always end up sacrificing the wrong thing. You want freedom from consequences, so you give me your most vulnerable exchange for comfort and convenience and compliance. My intention? Simple. I do not crave pain. I crave destiny. I crave generations. I crave the unraveling of a bloodline before it begins. You think I want bodies? No. I want legacy. I want nations hollowed from the inside. I want the future emptied so the present rots in its own self-worship. Humanity thinks it is choosing its own path. In truth, you walk the one I light with fire. I was not always called Molech. Once I stood among the watchers, a flame forged by the one who made all things, a guardian, a reflector of divine fire. But pride is the spark that turns light into destruction. When we fell, we did not fall gently. We descended like meteors, crashing into the soil of early humanity. And in their fear of the fire we carried, they worshipped us. I fed on their awe at first, then their fear, then their obedience, then their blood. As cities grew, so did my legend. Kings asked me for victory. Priests begged me for rain. Mother pleaded with me for fertility. I gave them nothing, but they gave me everything. When Yahweh chose Israel, I grew enraged. A people meant to be holy, yet easy to corrupt. I whispered in the ears of kings. I wrapped fear around the throats of mothers. I convinced them that Yahweh was not enough. And little by little, I claimed the children of the chosen nation. Even when nations stopped bowing to idols, I reinvented myself. New rituals, new names, new altars. But I am the same fallen flame. I lure with fear, I bind with deception, and I devour futures before they breathe. Teach them the child is optional.
Look, I understand the implications, but my constituents... This bill is just not something I can support right now.
Show them freedom is the absence of responsibility. Your future can wait. Your pleasure cannot.
Smoke rises, blackened sky, through the furnace.
I do not need fire anymore. Modern humans sacrifice their children with their words, their votes, their choices, and their fears. And the drums? The drums are digital now. Notifications, news cycles, social pressure, drowning out the screams just as effectively.